And welcome to another episode of DIOTALK. I'm doing Let's Talk. My guest, it's been a while since I've had him on. He's a real estateepreneur, an awesome guy as well. Ladies and gentlemen, give him a warm welcome to Cal Vazquez. Welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
Hey everybody. Hey Dio, I'm doing fantastic. It's really nice to be here, really good to be here, especially after a year. So much has happened in the past year.
I, I
So
I can imagine. I can imagine. Before we start, I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity that first time uh, when I was starting to create this platform for all forms of entrepreneurs. I really enjoy talking to you and thank you for your support. I appreciate it.
of course, and vice versa. Thank you for your support as well. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be on your platform.
Likewise, likewise. So talk to me. What's new? Last time last time we spoke, you're transitioning to rebranding yourself.
Absolutely. The last time we spoke, we went over like rebranding and marketing. I think I had just closed a couple deals. Since then, I can say, it's real estate. It's a roller coaster sometimes, especially as an independent agent. Um, and having a team, people come and go. So at the end of the day, one thing that remains is, I still have to be here. I still have to run the business. Since then, there's been a lot of turnover with agents, a lot of people joining the team, leaving the team, joining the team, leaving the team, a lot of training, a lot of sales, even. But I think the most significant thing that's new is I've definitely picked up more so on commercial and commercial deals and focus less more on the getting the business of residential because it's slowed down and there's been so many factors affecting the market. Pretty much now I think commercial is where I'm finding myself nowadays, and even doing the deals and residential and the commercial, more gravitating upwards towards like more management positions, upper level management. So maybe I foresee down the line doing like real estate brokerage management,
Mm.
which would pretty much be like becoming a broker or an office manager. This way, just the same way that you have to adapt and pivot. It may be better for me to go towards not only the unlimited earning potential of like being an agent and making sales, but also to a more salary-based position
Mhm.
because of how tricky this market can be, especially for an independent solo agent, regardless of the team members and the mentees and people coming back and forth into the industry. Um, that's pretty much, I would say, the newest thing is the commercial and the upper level management is where I am now. As where I was before, it was just strictly, residential sales agent. Of course, still mentoring and training, coaching other agents to make sales as well and to grow their business. Now, commercial and management, brokerage management or chain management, however you want to word that. I don't think real estate is really retail, brick and mortar management, and say that.
Well, that's a lot. That's you touched on a numerous points because this real estate market, this is like after COVID, the economy it's not great. It's a constant shift. You always got to readjust. Like I because I'm not a real estate agent, but my wife is, and you already know the business. It's always educating yourself, finding new avenues to make income, and it's challenging. You know that transition between your own independent contractor doing it now transitioning to training and trying to inspire and find ways for these agents to continue to be motivated and productive. um I understand that can be super challenging. For the I want to say it's the last 8 months, me and my wife been trying to develop a team, House of Lions group. Same thing as you trying to, but it's so difficult to get, times. It's so tedious to get people on the same page. And I understand, like, that's one thing that when I sit down, like my wife tells me, all right, this person is interested, right? I'm not that person who interviews, right? I'll say, okay, why do you want to do real estate? Everyone says the same thing: make money. How are you gonna make money? You have to be a go-getter. You gotta go after it. Like one of the tedious things that I see is that no one picks up the phone and start cold calling.
Hmm.
That is the bread and butter for a real estate agent. Putting yourself out there. It's like, Sekou says, make a mess. You have to. Yeah, you don't know what you're saying. They give you this script, but you gotta do it until you get comfortable, getting experience, and then you can make something happen.
Yes.
And so when you say things like, leaving and retraining, I get that 100%. It's, you can have the vision, but if, you know, they're not willing to work for themselves, because it's not like a 9 to 5 and where you get a basic paycheck. When you're an independent contractor, is it real estate, brokerage, construction, t-shirt printing business. When you're working for yourself, you got to be a go-getter.
Yeah.
So kudos to you for you know expanding and taking, because that's experience.
Absolutely.
What is your thoughts on the market right now?
My thoughts on the market right now, and I'm in New Jersey, more so like North Jersey. It's, not that much inventory, you know what I
Yes, I
mean?
agree.
There's not a lot of people that want to sell their homes necessarily right now. And of course, I'm removing all of the marketing and the convincing from the consumer, and just in general, just talking about people wanting to sell their home, or even people wanting to buy a home.
Hmm.
Um, I hear a mix of opinions from, I'm here on the market talking to consumers. So I hear a mix of opinions from consumers.
Hmm.
I can give you a broad perspective on how the market is doing, and what this economic paper might say, or what this leader of this brokerage or team or company might say. But in my internal activity of the business and talking to consumers, it's a complete mix of opinions when it comes to buyers. Some people think it's the right time, some people think it's the wrong time. There are factors that come into play in terms of the individuality of the client or that situation or that family, as well as like the socialism and then the all
Hmm.
around impact of everyone. So if we look individually, yeah, there's going to be several cases and several different opinions of why someone want to buy now, or why someone would buy later, or why someone want to continue renting.
Yeah,
But
correct.
all
Yes.
around, like a broad perspective, um, looking at why the market is kind of slowed, I think, and regardless of what I think, the facts are what the facts are. If rates have, significantly gone up, meaning it costs you more money to borrow more money,
Hmm.
you're looking at long term, long run, you're looking at short term, short run. And right now, a lot of people are saying that, all the rates are too high, I'm waiting for them to go down. But then again, it's like, when are people not saying that? So even
Yeah,
though
yeah.
the
It's it
consensus,
it's honestly is depending on the situation of every person, because it's always that noise, because yeah, we're in economy wise, we're going through some things. It's definitely facts that the rates are high. but it's like you just stated, it's when is it, when is it not going through? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
They're always going to say the same thing, you
yeah,
know?
it's depending on the situation that the person has, it's
Yeah.
it's what kind of options do they have?
Exactly. So I guess it would be a case per case basis. But if you look at the consensus and the trends, which we know, consumers follow
Hmm.
trends, they do what everyone else is doing. That would be the consensus is, oh, it's too much to buy right now and this and that. So I'm not going to make excuses for anyone or even make excuses for myself in regards to the slowing down of the market because that could always be contradicted with effort and results. So,
Hmm.
there might be agents that are really doing excellent right now, that are nonstop, deal after deal, and their business is flowing and moving. I would say in this type of market right now, it would be advantageous to be on a team or to be with a group.
Yes.
And again, no excuses for solo or independent agents like myself who aren't producing at the rate of a team or a group. It still requires the same amount of effort, regardless if it's a team of 20 or an independent agent. It's a perfect competition market, meaning one person can definitely be outproducing a team of 50, or a team of 50 can definitely be, outproducing a one-man army or an independent agent. So it really comes down to, like you said, the heavy lifting, doing the hard work, making the calls, putting the effort in, getting those results, regardless of internal and external market factors and conditions. So yeah, I mean, now it is a little slow in my market here in New Jersey. For me, as well as kind of the consumer traffic, whenever there's low inventory
Hmm.
and people don't want to sell, you really have to put in that extra effort in the marketing and, I don't want to say convincing or persuading, but more so educating the consumer as
Yeah.
to what is the right thing to do and when is the right time to do it. I don't want to just say, oh yeah, do it now to make a sale, because it really comes down to what is in the best interest of the consumer. And of course, they're going to act off of their own self-interest, especially
Hmm.
when you're talking about spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on a home, or even selling to see how much you can net and what time will be the best time to net the most.
Hmm.
So these are the thoughts of the consumers, both the sellers and the buyers. And then me as the agent kind of have to, find my way in this market through all of its factors and still be able to run my business and produce and get results and make sales, which is probably more so why I've like transitioned a little bit to more so on the commercial side of things, and more so on the salary broker management
Hmm.
type of things as well. As a business, like you said, was it real estateepreneur
Hmm.
or something? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, real
So
estateepreneur.
real estateepreneur, as a real estateepreneur, I have to still, this is my only source of income. This is my business. So as a real estateepreneur, I have to both look at my business and look outside of my business.
Hmm.
So I do notice that, even though things may slow down with residential, things are not slow with commercial at all. There are developments, buildings, construction, investors, developers that are constantly nonstop, regardless of the market conditions that are acting and moving, and more so less trend setting than the residential market. These are people that are actively looking, always ready to put in an offer, ready to make purchases. There's buildings now and developments that I have under contract now that I'm working. And even though as a residential agent, with your resources alone as an agent, regardless of me putting a residential label before me saying agent on it, does that label does not restrict me by any means to conduct commercial business and to put developments up or to demolish a building or to rebuild or whatever the case may be. So in doing that, in adapting to the market and my business, I'm more so dealing with these commercial deals that are very
Mhm.
significant. However, it's not like a house that's going to close in 30 days. We're talking about, months and years before this type of commission is dispersed or this type of deal is officially, completed. And then not only is the commercial business good for me right now because I feel like it has not slowed and it will not slow, um, to sort of recuperate from the market conditions. Definitely moving towards like a broker position or a managing broker on a salary base is probably where would I would see myself best. Obviously, because it will offset the lack of results and still give me the income I need, and it does not prohibit me from continuing to make my sales, continuing to sell homes or even contract the developments.
Yeah, your sense you will have your uh regular income, but then with options to making more income as your discretion. I mean, it's not bad, it's not bad. The it's where you got to progress in this, like, the world of real estate. It's so enormous. Like, the more experience you gain, the more you're able to readjust. All right, so this month is not it's not residential. It's more, stores and whatnot. All right, commercial properties. Oh,
Mhm.
wholesaling. A lot of people right now are investing in their time in wholesaling this, which it's a battle with real estate agents because it's like you're taking work from me because you don't require wholesaling, but wholesaling is not that easy. Not everybody's gonna come and sign a contract just to sign a contract with no protections, not being informative, no repercussions, because as an agent you have those repercussions. So
Mhm.
it's we'll see. It's one of those things we'll see. The market's always changing.
Yeah.
But it's also depending on the buyer. What's this is what we have. What do you want to invest your money in? Or clients that want to buy houses. Can you that's run your background, see what options do you have?
Mhm.
Because a lot of them, in my experience, a lot of buyers have the image of these big houses with mad, bathrooms and bedrooms,
Yeah. The
but at the end,
perfect magazine home.
yeah, but truthfully, it's not everything's like that. Let's see what you can. Let's run your background, right? Before we get in, let's run your background. Let's hook you up with a lender. Let's see what we can do.
Mhm.
And depending
Mhm.
on that, here's your option. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Same situation with renters. Sometimes you can't, sometimes you can. So
Mhm.
it's an evolving market. You know, uh,
Mhm.
it's a journey, I must say.
It definitely is. My clients now, a lot of my buyers, they are keeping an eye on the market. I'm keeping an eye on the market for them. No one necessarily quick to pull the trigger. I would say everybody is kind of just monitoring, waiting for that perfect home to become available. A lot of people don't really want to do a lot of work. They want it to be ready to go, which is reasonable. It makes sense as a consumer. You
Mm-hmm.
want to purchase and be done with the purchase and move in and enjoy your new home. Definitely, like you mentioned, getting them ready to go is all part of the process. So right now, a lot of my buyers are just keeping an eye on the market, seeing if anything they like becomes available. They're not too hasty or not too ready to pull the trigger. You know what I mean? there's no pressure on them. It's kind of just like, if the right home comes along, then the right home, comes along, and they'll move forward from there. So a lot of my buyers are kind of hesitant, not really in any rush to purchase. And we've seen the market and conditions where people are in a rush to purchase and they do want to move forward. And you could even bring it down to it being an individual thing, and it being a person by person. But from my group of my buyer clients, I'm definitely seeing the same trend in behavior with them, and maybe they'll put an offer here and there, and maybe they'll go see something here and there, and put in an offer. But when you have low inventory, it is very competitive. So if you have clients or buyers or consumers that are not really like, this is the home, I want to buy it right now,
Hmm.
versus, oh, if it's the right one, if it's meant for me, it will be, you know what I mean? You have two different types of
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
attitudes there. So a lot of
It's
them,
it's listen, it's a frustrating it's a frustrating dilemma that sometimes we as an agent you have to go through, you know.
yeah.
You get those clients that want to know more than you. Uh then you got those clients that don't know anything but still want to, you know, give almost a headache like situation because they in fear they don't know. You know,
Mhm.
it's just why like when we get clients, we got to educate. That first day of talking is educating them.
Yeah,
You know, that's
exactly.
if anything, it's time consuming is having that first conversation because
Right.
it's understanding the person. A lot of clients, you know, because real estate for the last couple of years has, I want to say, been oversaturated.
Mm,
You know, everything has been real estate, real estate, real estate, real estate.
mm,
And because, you know, I want to say, I guess the secret has been let out.
mm,
Everybody thinks and believes they can do it. And they come with high demands. And
mm.
you know, as an agent, sometimes it becomes very frustrating and saying, hey, you can't do that, you know, because
Yeah,
you know, you
that's
don't.
one of my favorite things to deal with. And I'll be 100% honest with you, Gio. I love when someone comes to me with unrealistic expectations. I know other people,
Mm-hmm,
other agents would say like they hate unrealistic. That's probably my favorite thing to deal with is I love being straightforward and telling somebody exactly how it is. They're in la la land and sometimes they're in reality. But I love when someone who's in la la land comes to me so that I can really like crack the whip and let them know exactly what we're dealing with here. This is a market that requires a sense of urgency, competitiveness and reality. If what you're looking for is unrealistic, I am so happy to tell you that what you're
mm-hmm.
looking for is unrealistic. It's not going to happen. You're
Yeah.
not going to find it. And the reason why I love that the most, I think it really does show the client that I know what's going on, and you do
Mm-hmm,
want to listen to me when I'm telling you and advising you
mm-hmm.
what is the right or the wrong thing to do and how to move forward.
No,
So
and
I
and
agree
what's crazy is
100%.
that, you know, some people would say, some real estate gurus would say that's not the way, but it's like, you at some point you got to be realistic. You know, as a salesperson, you're always going to try to sell them something to close the deal. Uh, but then, you know, it's either, you know, you're confining with your ethics and not disclosing certain things, or like, you know, it's always that annoying conversation, right? And you're better off as an agent being real with them. You
Yeah.
know, like it's like I tell my wife, do they have Kardashian money? Right? Because if they had Kardashian money, all they had to do is buy land and they'll build it themselves rather than go house shopping. And
Right.
when they go
Exactly.
house shopping, they don't even go house shopping. They go house renting. They rent
Yeah.
houses. You know,
Yeah.
so it's especially right now in north. I want to say northern New Jersey. You
Mm,
know, we're, I don't want to say tapped out because the summer. I think the summer starts the 29th or something like that. It's
mm,
it, it's tapped out when we're now investors have come from other states and now they're moving here. You
mm.
know, there's not really, you know, especially here, there's not really anything going around unless you got money and you have connections and you have invested in these now, like over here, they're invested in condos, big buildings,
Mm,
have money towards that. Um, houses, wife, three families, two families. It's very tedious right now. I'm not saying it's impossible, but
a
it's
challenge.
yeah, it's somewhat tapped out. A lot of agents that I've sat and talked to, you know, they're going outside of because we're considered to be like city life, going outside, and finding other markets.
Yeah.
This is where people are doing like wholesaling. I've
Mm.
tried doing I don't know if you heard like deal machine, where
What
it's like
was the
deal machine is like this. It's a super expensive app, right? First of all, super expensive because everything real estate
Mm,
it's expensive for no reason, right? You got to be in a team that because the team will help you get that money and buy it for the team rather than buy pay for your individual. So it'll help you. It's like you turn it on. It'll help you see what's around your surroundings, which is
okay.
like houses, houses for sale,
Mm,
houses foreclosure, mortgage it, zombie houses, and you turn
mm,
it on in your car and you drive around and you select one and you could filter it. You'll
mm,
pay a certain amount of money. It's a plus, right? You pay for script tracing and where like
mm.
um, it gives you like data information. What year
Yeah.
was sold? Is it under contract? That's additional things you pay. It'll automatically send out letters to the client to see if they want to sell. But those are additional
Got it.
costs, right?
So it's like I would say like an inventory deal generator marketing system.
Yeah, yeah. So they'll help you out and like if like some of them you'll skip trace them, right? And they'll say they give you like 8 forms of phone numbers. You call
Mm,
all 8, none of them connect to the house. All right, so next thing you'll send them like a like a postcard with
mm,
your information, a picture of the property, and so you're interested and hope you get it back.
mm,
A lot of people use it for wholesaling.
mm,
But what I do is I go and what is the word of it? I property prospect.
mm.
I go and check and see, because I got a list and where it has to have this certain criteria.
Right.
Like, when it gives me when I, go on the application, I have to check the year. I
Mm,
know if it's a house that was like bought in 2017, right? They're not going to be selling it. So I have the certain of year gaps that I want to have in order to send the postcard, call, and send an offer. Uh, and this is how I've been able to make some things happen.
Right. So you have your marketing strategy and then your resources. And I definitely see exactly like you're saying, just like the market and the consumers trend, the agents trend as well. Behavior is the trends, right? So it's like what behavior is trending. And I see, like you said, a lot of different marketing strategies, a lot of different transitions and movements in terms of agents relocating or agents tapping into maybe another part of the market, like you say, wholesaling or inventory prospecting, things like that. So it's definitely, I know like I'm not alone here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the only one trying to figure out how to navigate through the market and how to navigate as a business. Is definitely the behavior of now the agents who represent the market. What are we going to do to continue producing and to continue getting results? So yeah, I definitely think that would be really useful. I never heard of it, but definitely something like I'll look into. You said it was like Deal Machine.
Deal machine is called. It's listen, it's very tedious. It's nothing that you're not doing yourself. Like
Mhm.
if you're a real estate agent, like if you're a successful real estate agent right now, it's because you got the fundamental pack down, which is cold calling, cold calling, cold calling. Like because of the pandemic, and because I say R because I work with my wife, where EXP is a digital market, a digital platform for real estate agents that, don't have to really go to an office but work from their comfort zone, right? Everything
Mhm.
is
Mhm.
digital maximized. So everybody's relying on everything being digital.
Yeah.
You gotta get back to what is considered to be old school. You gotta get back out there. You gotta knock on doors. You gotta cold call. Cold call is very important. Uh
Mhm.
that's how you make your bread and butter.
Yeah. You
You
have to
got
put the effort
like
in.
everyone is scared, but they're not making money because they don't want to. It's gonna take some time, yes, 100%. But you gotta put yourself out there.
Yeah, you need to put the effort in. That's one thing that I speak to with almost every agent, whether it's someone on my downline who I recruited or a mentee who needs mentorship in growing their real estate businesses. I can tell you all of these things. I can tell you what you need to do. I can tell you what will make you successful. It still comes down to putting the effort in and actually doing it, actually making the phone call. I can wake up tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock in the morning and I can start making phone calls, and I guarantee you it will produce some sort of result, some sort of
Yes,
beneficial,
yes.
productive results. I maybe for an hour or two, and I can walk away tomorrow morning with listings or
Yeah.
with buyers
or
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 with
potential
agents.
listing, potential
Mhm.
leads, right?
Mhm.
Like it's like it's me and my wife, right? So I told my wife I'm not gonna call. She's like, "Are you scared?" No, I'm not scared. Is that when you're trying to build yourself up and you're doing it alone, there's
Mhm.
no there's no there's no time to waste,
Mhm.
because time equals money. So if
Mhm.
I go like I could talk to somebody on the phone, but you have the experience of talking, you know what you want,
Mhm.
right? You know what questions you know how to ask, and where
Mhm.
you already know, oh, this person is not qualified, this
Mhm.
person is doubtful. So it's gonna take numerous of other calls to get them down packed. So
Mhm.
time is money. So all right, so let's schedule for next week. Let's see where we at. Let's run it, right?
Mhm.
But with her, she already knows what to say, what to do,
Mhm.
and all I have to do is now bring prospect. I got this listing, I got this property, potential property, this potential. So now I give her a list, and we're now, all right, these are the numbers. You call, boom.
Mhm.
Takes her an hour,
Mhm.
calls all those numbers. Out of I give her 25 to 50. Out of the 25, there's always one. There's
Yeah.
five potentials, and there's one that knows what they want.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
it's yet again, it's being that old school. You have to go and get it.
Yeah, you have to
Got
go
to
and get.
go and get it. You can't always rely on putting an ad on YouTube or Facebook, on Instagram, all these social media, and hope somebody's gonna click.
Yeah, no, doesn't work that way.
But essentially, this and it's yet a tedious job. It's not, it's not guaranteed. How far
Mhm.
you will go, willing to go, is how far your business will grow, or how
Mhm.
far you will make money. But you have to go and get it. And a lot of these agents, you
Mhm.
know, I feel bad in the sense that they they go and get their license and pass the school exam, pass the actual exam, and they stop there because
Mhm.
all they know is they want to make money.
Mhm.
They'll tell you 20 minutes. I've had 20 minute times. Um, like they tell my wife they want to make money. I want to be like
Mhm.
you.
Mhm.
I'm telling you what we're doing. This is
Mhm.
what you have to do. And it's if and buts and that, and they're not willing to put themselves out there. You have to.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. And like I said, with the other agents that either on the downline that I have recruited or are under my mentorship program, which are learning, I offer that program, and I know exactly what you both have to deal with when it comes to the people entering the industry that have no idea what to do. And
Hmm.
within my program, I do make it very, very straightforward, very easy for new agents, emerging or entering into the market. And that's one of the things, I enjoy doing. And like I told you, I love um, smacking people with reality,
Yeah.
letting them know, they think they're gonna get their license, and it's gonna be like these $1 million listing TV shows, and they just have to show up in a nice outfit, and it's so much more than that. So I love to, like, smack them right across the face with reality and be like, listen, this is what you need to do. This is what gets results. This is what gets the job done. You have a vision. This is where you see yourself. This is where you want to be. You want to be $1 million listing. Okay, this is what you have to start doing. So it's definitely something that, we both do, or any agent who is training another agent, or anyone who's coming into the market. I really don't feel bad at all for them. If anything, I don't. I really, if anything, I just don't feel bad for them. I'm more so excited
Mm.
and completely, expect the best for them
It
because.
is, listen, it is
Mm,
a hell of a hell of an industry. Anything can
yeah,
happen. Anything can
yeah,
happen. Anything can happen. It's not a dull moment in real estate. Listen, and
yeah.
like I tell who asks me, for their opinion, my opinion, and where they want to join. I'll tell you this: everything you go to school for, that's just basically like they're ensuring you don't practice this.
Mhm,
Once you step out of there and you go on your own, it's nothing like you imagine.
mm-mm.
But it's solely up to you.
And it's easy. It really is, not that difficult. I know we talk about market conditions and the challenges of.
That's all BS. That's white
Yeah,
noise.
it's like exactly what we're saying here is that you have to put the effort into to get the results, and that's why I said earlier on, I'm not making an excuse for
Hmm.
myself, my business, consumers, or I'm not making excuses for anybody. It really comes down to willpower, right? So it's like, what is gonna produce the result? Are you gonna do what's gonna produce the result? Or not. And regardless, if you are doing what is going to produce the results and the results are not where they need to be, that's when you adapt and change. But the bottom line is as a business owner, as a real estatePreneur, as you say, you got to find a way to keep the production coming in. This is what I do. This is what we do. This is, how we create our lifestyle. So that effort has to be there. And if you're not getting the results, then something has to change. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
even though I use myself as an example and putting my effort in, and me not being happy with the results that I am producing, what do I do next? Okay, I move on to commercial deals, or move on to where there's more activity, or seek a broker management position, a salary, or whatever the case may be.
Invest in properties yourself.
Invest in properties myself.
That's like a top agent, and I only know
Mhm.
this because I consider myself as a journalist. My job, believe it or not, when people see me on my phone, is you think I'm scrolling. Now I'm researching.
Mhm.
A top agents are not is not making money on just their sales, but
Mhm.
because they're in the market, you're supposed to be investing.
Mhm.
This is your industry. This is how you thrive.
Mhm.
You're working with another contract. You're flipping. You're investing. You have your own properties. As an
Mhm.
agent, this as you get more experience and more knowledgeable, and do what you need to do. This is what
Mhm.
you should be doing. It's a lot of here. Here's the truth. It's not a get rich scheme. You're not going to make money like that, especially if you're not hustling. Um, it's not going to happen overnight. You get what I'm saying? If you're thinking about making money, you're doing it for money. You're doing it for the wrong reasons. Because when
Mm,
you're thinking about that, you're thinking about you making quicker dollars. It's not.
mm,
It's fucking hard work and
mm.
determination, brother.
Absolutely. It's pushing.
And
It's doing.
I hear you. I understand it 100%.
Mm,
I get it. I get it. And it's good to be honest and open because a lot of agents is gonna hit you with that corporate talk,
mm,
and sometimes you don't want to hear that BS.
mm, mm,
Sometimes you want to be real. Like I get all the time they want me to make a branch out and make a real estate show, but it's like where's the talk about?
mm,
Like
mm,
where am I going to talk about? If I'm not talking about rules and regulations, I'm definitely not going to talk about the market because
mm.
it's definitely on your situation.
Subjective, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like if
Mm,
you're like if I know I'm not a real estate agent. I know I live in Jersey City. I know Jersey City. There's some hidden gems,
mm,
but it's also really tapped out. And those
mm,
hidden gems, I know for a fact that they're they're gonna need cosmetic. For as
mm,
long as the skeleton is good, cosmetic. But how much is that cosmetic gonna cost you? Especially if you're a first time home buyer, you're gonna get a FHA because you're not giving that 20% down.
mm,
You're not even going beyond that to change into a conventional and where you're asking them to give you a little bit more to fix it.
mm,
And you know that if it's your first home, you gotta live there for at least a year or something like that.
mm, mm.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's a tedious job.
It is, and there's a lot of technicality that comes with it. I think pretty much what it comes down to and like the subject at hand, like we're discussing, is right, the
Mm-hmm.
do's and don'ts. I'll bring that right down to like the principles of humanity. Just like one of the very first things I learned in my university. There are the there are the have-nots, there
Mm-hmm.
are the do's, there are the don'ts, there are the victims, there are the victors. It really comes down to with the willpower and taking control and what you want to do and what these agents want to do. And if you do want to have a successful business, it's as simple as now you can not only just ask Google, you can ask a really freaking intelligent AI.
Yeah.
It's like everything comes down to do winner or loser, you know what I mean? It's like these new agents that we talk about coming in, or um the agents who are veterans who have been in the business who are facing challenges. It still comes down to taking the action, and of course in having faith. Faith is the highest form of intelligence. It's believing, hope, faith. If you have that belief and that faith
Mm-hmm.
followed by the action, you really become an unstoppable force. You know what I mean? So what it comes down to is, like you say, um, being a leader in this industry, motivating team members, other agents. It really comes down to that spark within the individual.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how good of a leader you are, or how influential, or how motivational, it still comes down to the followers. And their the inspiration, the effect the inspiration or the influence has over their actions, right? So it's like, I can tell you to do this, I can tell you to do that, I can tell you, you can see yourself here, you can see yourself there, but it really always comes down to, are you going to do it or are you not going to do it? Are you going to figure it out or are you not going to figure it out? When I say figure it out, if it's a veteran agent in the industry and production is slow, you still have to figure it out. You still have to figure out
Mm-hmm.
production. You
Mm-hmm.
still have to have a revenue. So it's like, regardless if you're a new agent or a veteran and you're in this market, the only thing really stopping you is yourself, is your individual self, and what actions you take. And that's why I said earlier on, I'm not making excuses for anyone, I'm not making excuses for myself, because we all know what to do as long as we have integrity and we believe in ourselves. that faith, cannot be broken because of the integrity. So it's like some of those values and standards that I hold within myself, I definitely would love to share that with everyone else and say these are some of the core standards and values, whether you're a new agent, veteran agent, entrepreneur, viewer, it really comes down to that integrity, that faith, and the action, that combined, is, with some perseverance, and could throw in a whole bunch of other values in there. But I feel like that really is the core to like anyone's success is going to be like, that faith and that integrity and that action. We all know what we need to do. Does that make sense?
No, 100%. You're preaching to the choir.
Mm,
It's 100% because here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? Everyone wants a cheat code. Shit, I wish I had a cheat code.
mm, mm,
But when if everything falls down, and in conclusion, it's effort and hard work.
mm,
I said hard work is old school, but it's truth of the reality. When you approach somebody that you consider to be successful, right? A real estate agent that is making bank, and you see trying to see them spill the sauce, and you see them like holding back or whatever. It's not that they're holding back, it's not that they're putting, is that they don't know how to explain. Get up, make some phone calls, go knock on doors,
yeah.
go outside and hustle. You have like being 95% of being a real estate agent is literally showing up.
Mm-hmm.
Showing up. 5% it's talking,
Mm,
because you have to show up, meaning you got to show up to pick up the phone.
mm,
You got to show up and present yourself. You got to show up and talk about yourself. You got to
mm,
show up and be informative. And the rest is just included as just talking,
mm.
because you're just talking about everything you got to show up for.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that everybody's very hesitant. And I don't knock other real estate clients and whatnot, because they sell courses and where that's their bread and butter. But the
Mm,
truth is, you want to be a successful agent, you got to show up.
yeah.
You got to show up for yourself. You got to show up for, and don't take no as a failure, because you're gonna get a lot of people gonna say
Mm,
no. It's not the right time.
mm,
You're gonna get so many no's until you get a yes.
mhm.
That's the rule of thumb.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
Whether
know.
you're a real estate agent, a Hollywood actor, a singer, it doesn't,
Mhm,
it's like you said, it's the rule of thumb, principle of life,
mhm,
it's not always going to be a yes and it's not always going to be a no, but the important matter, the most significant factor is, like you said, is being there and doing it because we need a result,
yes.
regardless of, the outcome of that result. Eventually it will align, but we need results. So I agree 100%, especially when we're talking about this market, these agents, the conditions, entrepreneurship in general. I think we really like laid out here that it's as simple as just showing up or just starting or just doing, is, any action is better than no action at all, as long, hopefully it's a positive
Hmm.
action,
Hmm.
ethical, whatever the case may be. But something is better than nothing. And I remember watching a video, I think on Instagram or something, and she was a team leader, and she was basically saying that, oh, my shitty brand is better than your no brand at all.
Hmm.
And I'm not saying that I have a shitty brand. I'm not saying anyone has a shitty brand, but I'm saying, someone commenting on my business or um, making an opinion or forming one on my brands or my business, it's like, okay, versus what, nothing
Yeah,
versus something that is
she's
not
saying,
anticipated.
she's basically saying that, yeah, I might have a shitty band, I have it, but what do you have?
Right.
You
Regardless
know?
of it being their opinion, regardless of her
Mm-hmm.
brand being elite, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, that is an elite brand, and you're, exactly how you just broke it down. Something is better than nothing, and that's the best thing I can say to any entrepreneur or even any agent is like really just like exactly what you said. Just show up, right? That just do it or do something. You know what I mean? A lot
Yep.
of people sit back and like I speak highly on faith, and faith is great.
Yes. God
You can
first.
have all
Yes.
the faith you want, but that action is like so vital. And it's like
Listen,
even if it's
God,
getting a
listen,
plan down.
God would open doors, but it will only take you to go through that door.
Yeah, exactly. You have to walk the door. Exactly. You have to take
Exactly.
action of
Exactly.
walking it.
You
And I
know,
think that's like so significant to anybody
yeah.
listening or watching out there is like the Nike. I always go back to
Just
Nike.
fish do it.
Yeah, I always go back to Nike to just do it. That's something I've always obviously Nike's been around longer than I have been around. So that just do it slogan, you know what I mean? It's so basic, it's so simple, it's so easy, and that's why I
Do
don't
you
feel
know
that.
the origin of that?
I actually don't.
Yeah, so the movie Air
Air.
is based on Nikes.
Oh,
So
I saw that. I have to check that out. I added it to my
so
wish list. Mhm.
they admitted that the just do it came from an
Mhm.
inmate who was about to get executed, and they asked him, "What are your last words?" And he said, "Just do it."
That's where the slogan came from.
Yeah, yeah.
I would have never thought that it came from someone being executed.
But it has bring so much inspirations.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
we, and I feel you 100%. Some people are satisfied knowing they can do it than
Mhm.
rather be satisfied knowing they did it. And that's the problem we're having right now in real estate. And
Mhm.
not just real estate, just in the um world in general. One thing is that they criticized of being a businessman back in the day was that it
Mhm.
was straightforward, no emotions. Now everything is really like, how do I say this without offending anybody? All
Eh,
right. It's like
good luck.
you have to have an agenda. You have to have
Mhm.
certain beliefs. And
Mhm.
I want to work here because they made me feel happy and they're part of my agenda, and they're part of my identity. Rather than, we all know work is, we need money to do what we want to do. It's just work.
Mhm.
You're making it more than what it is. And grant you, everybody to have that ethic and respect, but that shouldn't be spoken. That should rather be implied,
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm.
And a lot of sometimes, we're creating these teams and we're like, everybody wants to be cool, and everybody wants to be this and that, be part of something, but they want that without the work. They
Yeah, and I'm so happy you said that word because that's another word that has really um, changed my mind in so many ways for the better. That word you use, work, working.
Mhm,
It's it's so much more to that. To me, I think of like a toy, that has a battery, and it's
mhm,
like, oh, the toy is not working, right?
mhm,
It's broken, right? Versus the toy with the battery, the Energizer Bunny, and it is going, it is working, it is plugged in, and then you have a working toy, and then you have a broken toy. I take that same concept and I bring it to the actual, like, say, workforce, and
mhm,
we say, okay, there are people who are working, right? And there are people who are not working. I'm not going to say people that are not working are broken, but I'm saying it's either you're working or you're not working, right? So it's like the work is, what needs to be done, right? Or regardless if you do or don't know what needs to be done, if you're working, it's going to work, right?
yes,
If you're working, there are results. right? So I take that word work and working, and I really bring it to that level. And that's really how I perceive, that's my point of view in
Mhm.
regards to someone telling me that they're working, right?
100%, 100%. And that being said, anybody out there who's listening to this who's not doing what they got to do, get your ass to work. Get your ass to work. Shit, ain't nothing. Nothing's given and everything's earned. Nothing's
Mhm.
given and everything's earned. You know, I got this conversations with somebody. I'm not gonna throw them in the. I'm not gonna throw them in the way. But when they watch this, they're gonna know. It's like, you bring you they have this false belief in where you brought into this world and you think everybody owes you. The only two people.
Entitlement.
Yep, the
Mhm.
only two people that owes you is your mother and your father. That's the only people that owe you anything because they brought you to this life. No one
Mhm.
owes you anything. So that therefore nothing's given, everything's earned. And
Mhm.
you got to earn your way through this course of life. And if you're in real estate, you got to work your way, to create something for yourself because essentially, key phrase self-employed, meaning you're working for yourself. You got no boss, you got
Mhm.
nobody telling you what to do. All you have to do is follow through these guidelines,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
And even that because nobody follows those guidelines, but create credibility for yourself, create value for yourself because your name is everything. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? You don't want your name to be reflected towards something that's not valuable.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
I remember I managed uh before I entered entrepreneurship, like I
Mhm.
managed people.
Mhm.
And I made it known straight from the bat that my name is symbolic.
Mhm.
Because when you have employees,
Mhm.
some of them right, but majority of them want to slide their way through and throw you under the bus. And I can't have that.
Mhm.
I can't have that.
Mhm.
So when my name, your name, your value is supposed to hold weight. And where somebody tries to fool you, say Kyle this, and the other person says, "Nah, Kyle wouldn't do that."
Mhm. And that goes exactly to what we just talked about earlier in regards to integrity, in
One hundred
regards
percent.
to working. Same thing you said about the employees. I'll offer a very simple example of, me having several assistants and hiring them and paying them a lot of money to work. But I say work in the terms of get these tasks done, while the reality was they were not working in regards to it's a toy that
Yeah.
wouldn't turn on.
No, yes.
So it's like,
Honestly,
mhm,
you're better off getting a virtual assistant. It's way more less costly. Like, you know, and it's bad because you want to bring work to your community,
mhm,
to people that are in need and need a job. But it's like I give you this and you give nothing in return.
mhm,
You're
mhm,
better off spending $200 a month on somebody from the Philippines who gives you a list on everything to do. And yeah, when they call, it
mhm.
sounds like an action, but they're giving you more productivity than the person you actually gave the opportunity towards.
Right, because there's that work and then there's working, like we mentioned. So it's like, yeah, the work needs to get done, whether it's someone I hired down the block, maybe it's someone I hired across the country.
Yep.
But it's like, are they working? Like, is this gonna work? Are they gonna turn on? Are they just doing work and they're like, I use working as the functionality concept,
Mm-hmm.
and those are, even though it's the same words, two different meanings, but both, need to be aligned,
Yeah.
especially as an entrepreneur. Is like, you need to put in the work, but you also need to be functioning.
Yeah.
You
No,
also
it's
need to be
you could
working.
say I'm at work, but like, are you working?
You're like, yeah, I'm at work,
Yeah.
but then your whole life is falling apart, and then it's like, okay, well, something, there is not working, just because, I look at the working thing very simple as you have yourself together, or you know how to get yourself together. That is
Hmm.
someone who is working. That is someone who works. That is a toy that turns on and performs, right? So that concept has really taken me very, very far. And then there are times, that we all, kind of sit back and don't do much. And there are times that we charge forward and we do a lot. And those times that I'm sitting back and, it's probably been a few days since I've done something productive, which is very rare, but it does happen sometimes. And I'm just like chilling. And I'm like, I'm not working right now. Like something's wrong.
Hmm.
Maybe I need to exercise, or maybe I need to go outside or get some air or get some sun, or change my diet. But it's like, we're living, we're alive, we have to be here. We're at this time in this presence. So it's like we want to make sure that we are working in a sense that we're functioning regardless of what job or what work we have to do is completely separate from actually being able to live your life in a way that is sane, functionable. You're able to pay your bills. You're able to feed yourself. That is a human. That is a working human, just like a working toy, like that Energizer bunny that could keep going and slamming the second it
Yes.
stops slamming the drums together, it's broken. It's not
Yeah.
working. We got to fix it. What does it need? New batteries, does it need
Gotta
to
figure it
change
out.
the wires? You know what I mean? You got to figure it out. Exactly. So I think that's something that will definitely be significant to the audience. Working doesn't necessarily mean that you are working, you know?
Boom. There you go. There you have it. Kyle Vasquez, yo. Real estatepreneur. Kyle,
Yes, that thing is so significant.
thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for another opportunity. Thank you for taking out the time to talk to me. It's been an eventful journey, and you're not wrong. It's it's uh it's a tedious industry, but you got to put the work in, right? Thank you for joining me, man. Before we
Thanks for having
go,
me.
it's always an honor. It's always an honor. Before we go, please tell the people where they can find you at.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at KYLEDGR8. That spells Kyle D Great. Again, that's on Instagram at KYLEDGR8. You could even Google Kyle Vasquez Realtor. You can find all of my resources, my website, all over that search page. You can also reach me for business inquiries, business consulting, whether you're a new agent or veteran agent, and you just need to talk or chat, get your production up and running, see if we can align. However, whatsoever, you can reach me at 917-201-9358 for business inquiries. And I'll say that again, that would be 917-201-9358. I work with buyers, sellers, developers, investors, agents, and anyone where we might align.
Boom, there you have it, guys. Go hit them up if you're anything regarding real estate. Go support him. When this podcast comes out, go show him some love. Remember to like and subscribe. DIOTALK TV on YouTube. Go follow me on Instagram, Mr. Dreams by Obtain. Kyle, thank you once again. I'm out, guys. Have a good night.